I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Well, hello, Merry Christmas. How do you like my construction zone here? I just realized that the ladder is over here. We have so much, I can't even tell you what's going on here, but you can probably see that the walls are being taken out little by little, if you can see that. And this used to be a deck. It is now part of our living room. So it's pretty exciting. Kind of making me a little crazy. I'd rather not have this be happening when I've got Christmas all over the place, but it happens. Anyway, we have, did you see the skincare deal that we've got going right now? I swear this is the best deal we've ever had. And this is our Vibrant C+E, which, by the way, I use every single morning. And one of my hints when people ask me about skincare and what have you is that I always say you've got a clean face in the morning because you went to bed with a clean face. And all I do is use a warm towel to just kind of get the sleep out of my face, right? But I do not wash my face. When you wash your face over and over again, are you stripping your skin's microbiome? Did you know that? Hi, Jeanette. Anyway, so that is really crucial that you do not do that. I never do that. Just get it nice and warm. And while it's warm, I'll use a little bit of our serum, which I think we're pretty much out of, and the Vibrant C+E together, put that together and put that on my face and into my neck and just let it just meld in there. It just feels really good. It's a good wake up thing. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. Anyway, if you buy the C and E, by the way, it's encapsulated vitamin C and E, meaning it's not degraded once you pump it into your hand. It holds its potency. Vitamin C goes rancid just like that. Did you know that? Most vitamin C serums on the market just are no good. But if you buy the vitamin C+E, we're going to send you 2 of the deep moisture creams, 2 of them for free, $64 value. Merry Christmas. $64 value. Hello, Lizzie. Hello, Martha. Isn't that a great deal? So remember this. This could be for you. This could be a gift, whatever you want to get here. Teresa's here too, and I haven't even seen her. Vitamin C+E, and then you get 2 of the deep moisture creams for a $64 value. So crazy. Such a great deal. Go to savingdinner.com/CE, like in this, C and E. Is that so good? Anyway, jump on it because it's only while supplies last, and when it's gone, it's gone. We're just clearing out the rest of our little distribution center. You know, we're moving to a bigger facility, don't you? Yes, we are. And that starts January 1. Also, don't forget about Crave Water. This is not going away. And let me tell you, this Crave Water saved my bacon in the midst of homemade cookies. Homemade, like a bunch of homemade Christmas cookies. And I had just had my Crave Water and I was good. I was just like, yeah, well, whatever. And otherwise it would get in the back of my head and I'd be thinking about it and thinking, oh, you know how it is, right? So savingdinner.com/Crave Water. Get it. It'll make a difference. It works on the brain. It just works. So I love that stuff. Also, have you seen our quote of the week? Again, when I tell you that the quote of the week always intersects with the things that we're talking about, it also intersects with what's going on in our lives. It does. And that's today when I saw this, when I saw the quote of the week, because I don't look at them until it's time for showtime. Don't look at them. They are just random. I don't know how Jenny puts them together, but she puts them all together. And the quote of the week was here, let me pull it up again. A strong woman looks a challenge in the eye and gives it a wink. Don't you love that? Now, I'm telling you this because I've had some big challenges lately, big ones, huge challenges that I've had to deal with. And where my response has been, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. I don't know how, blah, 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 blah. And you know what? I get this quote of the week. A strong woman looks a challenge in the eye and gives it a wink. What is that telling you? That's telling you that a lot of times the way that we perceive things and the way that we go after things is very, very much tied into how we're going to handle it by how we understand it to be. And this is what we're going to be talking about a little bit today too, because I'll tell you, this is everything. And I understand this personally for myself that the challenges aren't going to go away. It's just how I respond is either going to improve, maybe even stay the same, or degrade. And I can respond in a way that's strong and that means something. Have you thought about that yourself? Because what we're going to be talking about today, by the way, are what I call like the 10 essentials for the pre-work for getting ready to do your goals. Because I will tell you, every single person on this planet is always you're going to be challenged by something. You know, life isn't going to just be a big bowl of cherries. It's not going to be easy every step of the way. There's going to be something that steps into your way. And I also want to encourage you big time, you know, sister to sister, let's not do New Year's resolutions this year. Let's do real goals that are going to make a difference in your life. What we're doing when we're making goals is we're taking dreams and putting deadlines on them and then writing a to-do list to go with them. That's what we're doing. That's basically what these goals are. And I believe that when we do this, instead of making these New Year's resolutions, what we're doing is we're informing ourselves of what's possible because we can see it because of the deadline. We can see it also because of the to-do list, and we can follow through just because of the grit that we have in us, which we all have, by the way. We are all so much stronger than we think. We're all able and capable of doing things that are hard. We just are. That's how it works. So, you know, this is a busy time of year. We have 6 days left until Christmas. Are you all ready? You know, you got all that stuff done. And, you know, every year it's the same thing. It's that kind of a grind almost in the holidays. It's exciting. We put up our Christmas tree. We have all the prettiness going on, or whatever it is that we're celebrating, by the way. You know, we did a pickleball thing with ugly sweaters yesterday, and we had a gal there who had on the Menorahsaurus, which was like this dinosaur that had candles on it for the menorah. So I thought that was cute. But you know, she was Jewish and she celebrates differently. But they still do things. You know, if these people are not a part of your culture, there's still a celebration going on, and there's still work to be done, and there's still things that have to happen, maybe just a little different than yours and mine. But the point is that we all get this busyness going, and sometimes it's a bit heavy, sometimes it's a bit much, and sometimes it's just like we have this notion of let's just get through this. I have that more often than I want. And while I love the holidays too, I also I resent sometimes that it all gets put on me. Do you do that? I do. So I've asked for, you know, a couple of things. My daughter's going to be making Christmas morning breakfast, and I've kind of delegated out. And what I've noticed is that my resentment comes from me not saying anything. The way to get rid of this holiday resentment and thinking that you have to do everything yourself is make a decision to delegate and make a decision that it doesn't have to be perfect in a certain way, and that you're okay if somebody shows up with a Tupperware full of something instead of a pretty holiday bowl. Stuff like that. We have to give ourselves that kind of a latitude if we want to move out of something that we don't like. And I'll tell you one thing I do not like, so low vibe, is resentment. I don't like it. It doesn't suit me. It doesn't feel good. So I'm not going to do that. That's part of my whole, looking forward to the making my new goals for the year. I will not make New Year's resolutions. And this is what I want to talk to you about today, because, Christmas is essentially over except for, opening the gifts and everything. You've got most everything done. I know you do. I know how you roll. You got most everything done. But this year, as you start to think about it, and I just want you to start mulling some things over in your brain about what it is that you want. And promise me that you won't write another New Year's resolution, and instead get into the place of understanding that your goals matter. And the goals and the things that you want for your life are incredibly important. They are. And it doesn't matter what they are. Hello, Autumn. And by the way, it doesn't matter what they are. If they're important to you, then they need to be treated as such. So we don't need this flimsy, New Year's resolution that always what happens is people write these down with such vigor, and then they're completely forgotten about by the end of January. Completely. So if we look at it on what it is that we're going to be doing, we need to, first of all, sit with ourselves and make peace with the fact that we need to be good with where we are right now, starting today, and not wish that we were different, that things were different or whatever. There's a lot of energy that goes into wishing for something different. So if we're going to take that energy and manage it as good stewards, then we need to recognize when we are outputting into something that's just not going to give us any kind of return, because wishing doesn't work unless you're Snow White when you wish upon a star, right? Disney wrote that whole thing together. So it's a willingness. It's a being ready. It's readying oneself. It's planning. It's thinking about. It's saying, yes, I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm capable. I'm observant. I'm ready for whatever comes my way. There's a real difference with that. I mean, think about any sport that you play. I think about pickleball. Yes, again, I'm talking about pickleball. Hey, Deborah. But if I just run onto the court and just do, whatever, I find myself in a place of just reacting instead of being a good student of what it is that I need to do next, of placing a ball here, of resetting what I need to. There's a whole different mindset that comes with a willingness and a readiness. And that's what I want to present to you today, this idea of readiness for your new year. Because yes, Christmas is here and we have all of that stuff, and you're still going to go through and do all of these things. But can we tuck some stuff into the back of your mind as you get ready between those days of the 26th and New Year's, and you start thinking about, what is it that I want for 2024? Hello, Anne. It's so good to see you. So anyway, I've got 10 things, and of course they're going to all be in the show notes. And then this show, of course, will be archived like we're doing and keeping them with the show notes. And we have a whole page going of all of that. So if there's anything that I think that it's even searchable, isn't it, Jenny? You'll be able to search it and find things that you're looking for. But here's the first thing that we need to be looking at is, am I willing to take the knowledge that I have already, or the knowledge that I'm attaining, and put it into action? That's number one, because we can't just be an understanding of something. We have to be willing to apply it and follow through with it in practical ways, because that's what's effective. Following through and actually doing something about it, right? And then the other thing that okay, so there you go. It's savingdinner.com/daily dish. That's where you'll find any old shows plus notes, and there's a ton of them there already. So just know we put everything out, and they've got the show notes with them. See how we work? Pretty cool, huh? Number two, this one is really a personal favorite of mine because it hit home so hard. And that's to make change a choice and not a reaction. And hear me for that, because so often what happens, and I know this because I've coached these people as my clients, and that is that they have they're in front of me as a reaction to what their doctor has just said to them. In other words, they didn't make a choice to see me. They felt forced. They felt like this is what we need to do. This is like, here we are. Oh, hello, Jane. I'm glad to have you here. Because when we make a change, a choice, we've put some thought into it, haven't we? We've thought about, if I stay like this and keep doing this, this is what's going to happen. We look to the present. We look to what it's going to create in the future. And we also look at our past and say, do I want more of the same? That's what we do. So if we choose to change for growth and not just have a reaction to external circumstances, there's a depth there that's not there as a knee-jerk reaction, like, oh my gosh, I got to do something. Think about that one. This one is something that I have been meditating on for quite a while, and thinking about the depth of the change that I want to make and the consistency that I want to create, and that yumminess that I want in my life. And I know you have the same thing too, but it requires this kind of thinking. Go inside and take a look. Are you just having that knee-jerk reaction, or is this something that you've thought about? And then we also need to know that we have to bring this to the table too, and understand that our belief is the thing that's going to shape our reality. Are there any old beliefs that we're thinking about that just don't work anymore? I counter this all the time. There are so many people out there who think that, they'll get on the treadmill and go for, miles. And yet, they're stricken with osteoporosis, osteopenia, sarcopenia, sorry. And they haven't done a thing to get those muscles going, but they're stuck in this whole notion of, I've got to get that cardio in, got to do that cardio. And yet they're burning out their muscles because we have to purposely think about it and make a plan for it, eat for it, and create muscle. We have to, especially at this age. It doesn't just happen. There's something that needs to go into it. But if we have old beliefs and we keep thinking that, low fat is low fat is the way to go, 80s thinking, nutrition mentality, then we're going to get stuck in a place of getting results we don't want. So we need to really examine, do these beliefs serve me? Do they? Are these beliefs true? Have I done my research? Things like that. These are things that we have to put into the equation as we are making our goals, because they're going to create the outcome. They're going to create our to-do list of what it is that we do. And if we have old beliefs and we still keep on getting those same old results, boy, are we going to be upset about that. We also need to understand, number 4 is the power of connection. Here's the thing. Our thoughts and actions influence our whole world. They do. It is a ripple effect. It happens. We see this all the time. We see this when somebody gossips about somebody else and it gets around and it's not even true. We see it when we do something, some good thing, and then somebody else pays it forward and we see the goodness happen as well. So If we see ourselves, we're in this whole quantum field, to quote Joe Dispenza, and that we're a part of this, we're going to understand that our thoughts and our actions are going to influence everything around us. You can have a good vibe, you can have a bad vibe, and you can control your vibe as well. Number 5 is that understanding that the influence of thoughts and intentions have the power to not only affect our present, but also our past, because we're going to see it in a certain way, and our future, because we're going to anticipate it in a certain way. So if we understand everything has weight, everything has some kind of value attached to it, and that we can't just fall down into that pit of despair and expect that we're going to get anything different out of it if what we've always gotten is just more of the same. You know, we have to take a minute to regroup and get out of the way, because we're not going to make any kind of progress on what it is that we want if we're doing that. We also have to have the mindset for new outcomes, because here's the thing, is that when we shift our mindset, we start to think that we are the strong women who wink at challenges, like our quote of the week is. If we have that, that's a new mindset. Instead of shivering, shrinking back, we walk up and we wink at it. What does that do? It changes it all. It changes everything. It changes the courage inside. It changes our mindset. It changes the strength. It gets grit going in the veins, doesn't it? This is what it does. And sometimes we don't really feel like that. Sometimes we're thinking, this is just crazy. This is out of control. But we can still wink at the challenge. We also have to align our belief with action, because if we don't do anything, we're not going to get anything. We can't, again, wish upon a star. It's not going to make it happen. So if we believe in our goals and align our actions up accordingly, we are going to exactly reap what we sow. It's just the law of the universe, right? And we have to trust the process too, because, I will tell you this. We get stuck when we ask how. We get stuck when we're not clear on our why as well. If we want something badly enough, we can go after it. And if we keep thinking how, then we're going to get stuck and not be able to trust the process at all. We're not going to be able to do that, because the focus on our goals is the thing that's going to help us align what our actions need to be next. And we don't need to see everything ahead of us. We just have to have an idea and a notion that if I do this, this is really going to help. The other day I was on Amazon, finishing up all my Christmas stuff. And you know what I did? I decided for the first time ever that I was going to do some big meal prep. I was. And I bought these little containers with tops on them. And I've never done them before. And Mark's like, what is this? But you don't do this kind of thing. And I haven't. However, what I've noticed is if we don't have leftovers the next day, that we're defaulting to stuff that I don't want to be eating, So because we're always coming home from playing pickleball in the morning, right? So my thought is, well, if I have all these meals all together, all planned out, layered out, and I'm going to do it for Mark too, because he doesn't need to be eating a bunch of junk. He's been buying frozen pizza and bringing it home. And I said, what's this? Don't do this. We don't need this in our house. This is ridiculous. And you're hungry when you get home from a day, 2 hours of sweat and hard work. And so it's really important to have what it is that you need. So what do? We put an action plan behind it. We do something we've never done before. And we do it because we trust the process. And we trust that if we have some action behind this goal, we're going to get it done. My goal is I want 140 grams of protein a day. I figured it out. I know exactly how to do it. And all I have to do is follow the plan. It's just that simple. Then you also have to have a big heart of gratitude for this whole process. If we don't have gratitude for the process, we're basically thumbing our nose at God, We are. Oh my goodness, Susan. You see what Susan said? She said frozen pizza is a health food compared to the junk my husband brings home. Well, we have a grocery outlet here. I don't know if you have a grocery outlet where you are, but it's like they bring stuff and occasionally you get really good stuff. So like right now, like I go in there maybe once a month. Mark goes in there way more often. But in the frozen section, they had these Cascadian Farms big bags of frozen berries. And they had blackberries, they had blueberries, they had raspberries. They had a bunch of stuff. And it was all organic. And it was a big bag for $1.99. So I bought everything that they had. So those kind of things make sense. But why would we buy frozen pizza from there when we don't buy frozen pizza from the grocery store and it's never on the list? That doesn't make any sense. So there you go. But the point is too, as far as gratitude, is that we can have gratitude in the moment now today as we anticipate what's coming. Have you ever thought about that? It's coming your way. I have gratitude. I have gratitude for the process because I know what the process is going to, what the outcome's going to be of that process. And that is, to me, is another very deliberate step that we can take to assume what's going to be happening in our futures. And this is really, I think, is a really wise thing to do because, we think about things as if they already occurred. We can start to see in our mind's eye what that would look like. We can start to have a vision for it. We can start planning for that. This is how all this stuff works, by the way. Fun. And then lastly, there's the law of reciprocity. It's the law of the universe. And that's embracing that the energy and the intentions that we're putting out are going to come back to us. It is reaping what you sow. And I will tell you that every single one of us, we're reaping something. And I don't know about you, but I want to plant in my little garden. I want to plant things that are going to be productive, that are going to be good, that are going to enrich my life and not take away from it, that are going to enhance my health, my well-being, my energy. And if we're doing that, then we are planting a garden of prosperity for tomorrow. We are. Because what is prosperity? It's not just about having big, chunk of change in the bank account, but it's also about having good health. It's about feeling good in your own skin. It's about being grateful for every moment that we have on this planet. And when we go into this place of recognizing that 2024 is knocking on the door, and we take the time to kind of do the pre-work of what it's going to take to create awesome intentional goals, then we're going to see our way into having goals that this year stick, having goals that this year move the needle, having goals that this year light you up in every way possible. That's what this is all about. So, are you ready to have goals that have actual meaning behind them, or are you to just make New Year's resolutions this year? Well, I know what I vote for. So make sure that you're doing your goals. And if you need help with anything or whatever, we still have, I don't think we still do anyway. We have our Take Back Your Life journals. I think we have a few of those still available. And they'll show you how to do goals and how to really write out intentional affirmations every single day and to make it happen for the next 12 weeks. Go check it out. That's at savingdinner.com/journal. We also have any announcements that are here today that we're talking about, savingdinner.com/announcements. We're here for you. I hope you're having a great holiday. I will see you next Tuesday, the day at Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.